Yes, I believe that right now you people can listen me also, and just to make sure, just let me know whether you are able to hear me properly, so that I can go ahead. Okay. I'm getting signal from you people that there is no problem in audio. Uh, Good. That's a good sign. And without wasting any more time, let's go to the classroom. And you already might have seen that in this classroom, I already have shared another unit. And if you remember and have seen this already, uh, after talking about developing vocabulary in a few lectures, online sessions, now this is time to move on to another unit, Technology with Human Face by E.F. Schumacher. And I'm expecting from you people that you should be able to listen this properly. Maybe take your time and listen to this kind of a interaction, or maybe you can read this text. I would highly recommend you to read this text before we go in the in-depth analysis of this text. As the beginning, this is from the School of Comparative Individualism, and this is Science Library, and you can see the original text of Schumacher. I already have shared this in Google Classroom, so that you will be able to read this as we go, or anytime whenever you are free. I would highly recommend you to read this text. So, since this is we are talking about technology with a human face, we will definitely be talking about whether there is any kind of impact of technology on the human face or the humanity in general. So that is this essay is all about. And but before that, let's first of all understand who this Schumacher is. He is a German born E.F. Schumacher, 1911 to 1977. So these are a little details you need to keep in mind, because in the examinations, and right now these days all the examinations are being conducted like MCQ, multiple choice questions, and these little things are important. Just pay attention to that. This was reprinted from Small is Beautiful. That is the book written by Schumacher, and this is one of the chapters in that book. And this book was published in 1973. He was a British economist and author. He was confined in Britain during World War II, after which he served for 20 years as economic advisor on Britain's National Coal Board, and work on theories for that country's welfare system. Now, this is very much important to understand, because when we are talking about technology and humanity, who is speaking, and who is the person who is writing about all this? We need to know first of all that. And Schumacher is economist basically, and being economist, his way of thinking or whatever he is thinking is completely determined, or completely uh, from the angle of economics. He contributed many articles to the London Times, London Observer, Economist. These are some of the best magazines in the world, and he has been contributor to that. He lectured at Columbia University. One of his books, Small is Beautiful, and this is where this essay was also written. Economics as if People Mattered become a bestseller. So this was the book, Small is Beautiful, which was completely bestseller, very popular book. And in that book, this chapter comes. In it, Schumacher encourages human fulfillment as the best economic booster and suggests means of obtaining that goal. Now, before we go into the actual text, I would like to have a little kind of a discussion. And even before that, because right now, I just forgot about making that announcement. Right now, since we are streaming on YouTube and not on Google Meet, so I won't be able to record your attendance like traditionally I do on Google Meet. So I would encourage all of you to leave your names in the live chat, so that uh, later on I will have this kind of a attendance record that you were there to attend this lecture. So just leave your names in chat box, so that I can later gather your names, uh, extract your names from the chat as a attendance. There is also another way of looking at this technology with a human face, and we might have talked about this at length, um, about whether science is useful or not. And obviously, no one can deny that technology and science is very much useful for the human development. And we have been very much advocate about this kind of a scientific technology and scientific temperament. But at the same time, we need to think about it in a different way, and that's what he says in the very beginning of this lesson or essay. He talks about let me read. The modern world has been shaped by its metaphysics, which has shaped its education. So obviously, when we are talking about modern world, it's obviously about a technological world, the world in which technology is giving us this kind of a uh, boost in the modern world, which in turn has brought forth its science and technology. So modern world has brought us a science and technology. So without going back to metaphysics and education, we can say that the modern world has been shaped by technology. So now keep this in mind. In the very first paragraph, in second sentence only, he is talking about that this entire uh, modern world is shaped by technology, and there is no hesitation, because right now, for example, right now we are interacting with the help of technology, and this also is a kind of a proof that technology cannot be separated from human life, especially in the modern world. It tumbles from crisis to crisis. On all sides there are prophecies of disaster and indeed visible signs of a breakdown. And it's very much interesting that in the very first paragraph he is also talking about the prophecies of disaster and the signs of breakdown. So what is this prophecies of disaster and signs of breakdown? So breakdown and disasters are not at all positive words which are used in relation with technology. So why this disaster and technology breakdown in the very beginning? Let's read one more paragraph, and then we'll get the entire idea, because you might have learned this paragraph writing technique also earlier. And in the paragraph writing, first of all, whenever we write a paragraph or any essay, in the very beginning we talk about the thesis statement. So what I'm going to say in the entire essay uh, can be seen in the first paragraph, a couple of paragraphs. If that which has been shaped by technology and continues to be shaped looks sick. Now this is very much interesting. What he is saying, if that which has been shaped, it means modern life, modern world is shaped by technology. It is already made clear, right? Now what he is saying is that at and continues to be shaped. Agar if the same thing continues, looks sick, then there is something sick he is talking about. It might be wise to have a look at technology itself. If technology is felt to becoming more and more inhuman. Now he is talking about technology being inhuman. human is a completely different characteristics, and he is talking about technology being inhuman. We might do well to consider whether it is possible to have something better a technology with a human face. Now, maybe if you are reading this for a first time, this kind of a conversation, then there is perhaps a kind of a little confusion that what he is talking about. So what he is saying, especially in the first couple of paragraphs, is that is it possible to have something better a technology with human face? So technology on its own is inhuman, it's not human. But can we have something which is completely in alignment with the human as well as the technology? And that's what he is hoping for. So technology with human face is what we should be looking for, and it's not only just a isolated technology. So even the nuclear power is a technology, or maybe turning that into the energy is a kind of a technology. But at the same time, we can see that if we give kind of a touch to the technology, and let me give you an example. How many of you have seen the human robot? Maybe last year there was a lot much news. Um, there is a human robot, and can you tell me anybody what was her name? Through the chat box, you can tell me. Okay, let me tell you. It was Sophia, and just Google artificial intelligence and Sophia, and you will come across lot many video interviews and many articles about that. So Sophia is a kind of a first robot with a human face. So uh, since we are talking about this, obviously book was written in 1973. At that time there was no artificial intelligence that much developed to give it a human face. And now into almost 2020, we have maybe a couple of years earlier, we had this human artificial intelligence with obviously a human face, and even the name was given Sophia. You might have seen some interviews of her. And yes, Sophia. And what was so distant about that Sophia from other people, or maybe other artificial intelligence, other technology, is basically the difference is that she can feel, and feeling is a human emotion basically, or feeling is human. It's not with the technology. So if you hit some computer with your fist or something like that, computer won't be able to usually, that's what we think, that computer won't be able to be angry or mad at you. If you are treating some kind of a technology, for example your car, or maybe if you smash something, it's not going to show emotions. So that's where we are talking about a human face. But now, because of the artificial intelligence, and I believe that many of you might have used Alexa, Amazon Alexa, and this that also is an example of artificial intelligence. And if you ask Alexa, tell me a joke, and Alexa will tell you a joke. Or even if you it's not very much modified technology, artificial intelligence yet, and it's developing day by day. So we can say in very short that technology with human face was kind of a dream of Schumacher. And at the same time, we can say that that dream can definitely become reality in near future. So obviously in near future, this technology with human face is completely possible. Now we can keep on talking about the same thing for a long time. Um but let me ask you this simple question to make it interactive. uh, many people say that science is going in kind of very fast and advanced in because 20 years ago, or maybe some 20-25 years ago, there were no smartphones, were no cell phones like we have right now in the hands of each and everybody. So, but if you go back and 200 years ago, the entire progress which was made in 200 years earlier, from 18th century to 20th century, the science development of the technology, development of science, and if you compare that development to last 20 years, you will see that in last 20 years there is so much development in technology, and there are a lot many things which are already being done, and even today as we speak, there are a lot many new innovations. Do you agree that science and technology is progressing way fast, and at some point there won't be any kind of a new development or something? Yes or no? Let me again repeat the statement. Science and technology, or especially technology, is developing too fast in last 20 years. In maybe coming 20-50 years, there will be a point, and then there won't be any kind of a development in technology. Do you agree or not? If you agree, just type A, and if you are not, then type N, so that it would be very much quick to interact with you people. I'm waiting. Is it taking a little bit more time to? Okay, okay. Your answers are coming now, right? Okay, there is many of you are saying no. That's not the case, and some of you are also saying yes, it's possible. Okay, that's interesting. Now, see, what I believe personally is that, uh, we cannot say that, there won't be any progress, because there is always a scope, and that is why this research department is doing time and again that 200 years ago no one even ever thought about these computers and cell phones and smartphones and everything, but they exist today. Even 10 years ago, smartphones and computers were able to do some kind of a task, basic task. Today it's completely a different thing. Maybe today we know that, if you want to use some video conferencing platforms, only 100 participants are allowed today. Maybe after a few years it will be very much new normal, so no one would pick a phone and dial number and call. You just can contact anybody with a video call. Maybe that is very much convenient in the coming future, and that perhaps is obviously there is always a scope for the development, and that is why this research and that is what this education is coming with. And there will always be changes, there will always be a science, there will always be a progress, no matter what. So, and what technology basically does is that technology, can anybody tell me the definition of technology? What technology does? Maybe you might have seen Three Idiots, and Amir Khan, the role which he played, he was asked to define machine, and if you remember, uh, he said that machine is anything that reduces human efforts, and technology is also the same thing, right? So technology is also reducing human efforts. For example, right now there are approximately 200 students in the class, but what I am doing right now is I am reaching to many of you people with the use of this technology. So maybe 10 years ago this was not the case. Yes, Definitely, technology is the thing which makes our efforts less, or maybe makes our life easy. So, in the very simplest manner, we can define technology in that way. So, imagine if many of you and all of you are science students, and obviously, scientists are the one they, you know, create technology, and they use technology, and they think about creating a new kind of a technology. So maybe it's nanotechnology, maybe it's part of physics, or maybe it's in chemistry, in biochemistry, uh, in there are a lot many fields in which we can explore new things. Now, just tie a wristband on your hand, and it will tell you how much hours of sleep you had last night, and even it will count your steps, and it will tell you how many steps you walked, and how many calories you burned, and all that. So it means it is the technology. Earlier it was not possible. You don't need to go and buy pulse meter to check your heartbeats, and just your smartwatch can do that for you. And it will calculate oxygen level in your blood, it will calculate the heartbeats, it will calculate the steps, it will calculate sleep, and maybe uh, in coming days, in coming years, its face will completely be changed. So that also is another possibility. Okay. So let me take you to another of, yeah. So I have created this kind of a little simple note, so that you can make use of it. I will share this in the classroom as well. um, I believe you will be able to see this within a second. Yes, right, this one. uh, I don't know whether you can read it from here. Maybe if you are watching it on smartphones or something, it will be very much difficult. I will read it. No. Okay. Technology with human face, that is by Schumacher. And first of all, let's talk about a little about this technology with human face, and who this writer is and what he does. And then we will talk about the gist of what this entire essay is, because the original text reads almost 10 pages, and it's not practical to read the entire 10 pages. So I have put it in approximately 2 pages, so it will be very much convenient for you people to read this, maybe remember this, and I will also share this note in a Google Classroom. So I'll read from this, and then we will discuss as we go further. Okay. E.F. Schumacher was an economist of international repute and the author of the book called Small is Beautiful. I just talked about it. And there is also a study of economics, as if people mattered. Now, this is very much important. I don't know whether you can see this, but let me just highlight it. Small is Beautiful was the title of the book. And uh, subtitle of the book is Study of Economics as if People Matter. So whether technology matters or people matters, that's the question. And the subtitle reads of this book that uh, it actually people matters, because technology is created by the people and for the people. So people matters, not just technology. We develop technology for people and not for technology's sake. And that is something we need to keep in mind when we are discussing this text, because this is how the author wanted this to be. This essay, Technology with Human Face, is taken from his book Small is Beautiful. In this essay, Schumacher expresses his fear and concern about the inhuman nature of modern technology. So, this is also again important, that what kind of words he is using. Inhuman nature of modern technology, which is taking the world from crisis to crisis, and says that a new type of technology called self-help technology is needed, so that everyone, including old men and children, can work with their clever brain and two skillful hands with a great satisfaction. Now, this is a kind of a dream which he wants to achieve. And he says that it should be a self help technology which is required, which is needed in the modern times, in the coming days. Schumacher says that the laws of principles of technology are different from those the human nature. Now, principles of technology are different from the principles of human nature or human nature. The system of nature is based on self balancing, self adjusting, and self cleansing. But technology is not that way. But technology does not have any self limit principles. As a result, modern world faces three crises simultaneously. Now this is important, keep this in mind, and maybe if you have notebook you can write it down. Modern technology destroys human life and nature. Now this is the first crisis. Secondly, non-renewable sources such as fossil fuels are running short. And finally, it creates pollution and global warming. So it's not only he is not only talking about the limited sense of a technology, but technology which in overall technology, or maybe in the modern times, the entire industrialization and the atomization, everything, he is talking about that. And he says that these are the three important crises simultaneously faced because of the modern technology. Schumacher says that industrialization of 25 years could only bring illusion success because of the two big problems of unemployment and poverty. Now he, keep in mind, he is not a scientist, he is economist, and he is talking about this entire situation of technology from his own economic point of view. He says that industrialization and of a 25 years could only bring illusory success because the two big problems of unemployment and poverty could not be solved, and even in the developed countries unemployment problem is very serious. Now, in order to develop any economics or maybe any power, any nation, these important things to be kept in mind are poverty and unemployment. How many of you have, let me ask you this question, how many of you have heard this Human Development Index, HDI? And what is it? What does that do? Any more information on HDI, Human Development Index? Let me know through the chat box. Maybe those who are preparing for competitive exams, they might have came across this notion of HDI. Okay, I believe that from my end, the stream is in high quality. It is 1080 full HD. So if you are seeing that there is some screen blur or something, maybe it's because of the internet speed that you have. Okay, my question again, let me ask you, what is HDI, Human Development Index? What do you know about it? And why is it so relevant and important in modern times? I will give you a minute to answer that. Okay, let's go ahead, because otherwise the entire time will be wasted just in waiting. So let's go ahead and talk about HDI, Human Development Index. Okay, good. If you haven't heard about it, let me tell you. And especially, let me tell you this: those who are preparing for any kind of competitive exams, be it banking or maybe for defense services or even MPSC, UPSC, you must know about this HDI, Human Development Index. And okay, Harshad. HDI determines the standard of living of a country on basis basic needs like exactly education, health, housing, etc. Okay, let me explain this a little more, Um or maybe I can give you a little hint to understand it better. Development of every human in his life and his economic development, Pramod says. But let me tell you, okay, I'll explain it. It's very much important for competitive exam aspirants. Keep this in mind. Also, this is very much related because economists had developed this human development index. It's not like we have university ranking in the world and the 10 richest people in the world or something like that. We have kind of rankings. In the same sense, human development index is about measuring the development of human beings who are living in that country. How is their condition? So maybe how is their wealth, not wealth, basically because it's about economics. At the end, it talks about the economics or the wealth, but initially human development index is all about how is that human being or any person is developed. It means that what about the education, what about the poverty, what about the healthcare. Education, poverty and healthcare are the three pillars to determine human development index. And unfortunately, India, out of 180 something countries, India ranks, I think, last 2 years data, according to that, 130 was the India's rank. So we are not at all very good. It is, yes, Harshad is again telling that it plays a very significant role in determining and comparing our economic development in the world. Obviously, and let me tell you this example that Kerala is perhaps the most educated people live in Kerala. Literacy rate of Kerala is very good. Health facilities and all that health infrastructure, we can say, is very good in Kerala. And if we consider all the states of India and compare its human development index, Kerala is at first rank. There is a reason, because just let me give you another simple example that how our lives change. So maybe in small villages perhaps, if there is no healthcare, a proper healthcare, then the lifespan of the people will be reduced. They are not very much efficient to work. And if there are people who are dependent, uh, okay, if there are very much people who are dependent from other people, it means we have to feed many mouths, and the people who are earning will be less compared to people who are just dependent on other people. And that is where human development index will go down. But instead of that, all the people are skilled, all the people are educated, all the people can use their own utilization like that. And at the same time, there are very people, less people, like maybe the old people and children, except that each and everybody is working, each and everybody is contributing in the economy. That I believe is going to be the best thing. And human development index is all about that. how developed human beings are in that country. So that is how it is developed. And if your HDI, human development index, is higher, rank is higher, it means that there is a possibility that you will achieve that, the global power, economic power, in the sense. But we have been, you know at least there were a lot many dreams about India 2020, and India will become superpower in 2020. But in 2020, our HDI is not even below 100 plus. We rank in HDI, so it means that there is a long way to go to become superpower or maybe economically independent. Okay, let's come back again. Uh, he was talking about the three basic things. Okay. Schumacher says that industrialization of 25 years could only bring illusory success because of the two big problems of unemployment and poverty, because this directly relates to HDI. That's why we were talking about. He says that the primary task of technology is to reduce the burden of man's work so that he can enjoy life and relax. Initially, technology was created for this purpose only. So, computer is another example. But computer replaced so many people who were working in any kind of industry. But modern technology is eliminating skillful, productive, and creative work of human hands and brains. Modern technology is gigantic, highly complicated, and needed huge capital investment. Only the rich can afford to run modern factories. These labor-saving machines makes the rich richer and poor poorer, and unemployment and poverty increases all over the world. Now, as not only as the students of science who are going to answer some questions based on this in semester, and in the very first lecture, if you still remember, I told you that it's not about passing one semester exam. Take this semester for developing your own personality, and even this one paragraph is very much relevant for our own perception of a human and modern world and human world. So what he is saying is that technology has developed its own course. Because of that, human effort, unemployment is at its peak right now. uh, when I completed my graduation and education, for say up to PhD, I was very much certain that I will get a job. But even today, after so many years, my classmates are still searching for jobs, and this is the reality. Even after your graduation, what you can become, what you will become, there is very much uncertainty about that, and it's because of the unemployment and uh, okay, I think you have another class. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll finish it, and you can go then. Just let me read this last paragraph, and then we'll wind it up. Thomas Aquinas, the great Italian philosopher and theologian, defines man as a being who wants to enjoy doing work with his hands and brains. So, how it is defined? That man is someone who enjoys doing work with his hands and brains. So, this is very much interesting definition. See, but in the modern world, such work is being done by machines. Such work has become very rare, and one has to be immensely rich enough to get such creative, productive, and useful work. So, poor people are not getting this kind of work. Instead, people get fragmented work. People get fragmented work, which is so boring that the workers suffer from neurosis. So, enjoying work is something we should be talking about, but instead, unfortunately, it's not the case. Okay, I believe that this was helpful, and we need couple more sessions to complete this topic. And if you have some other lectures, keep in mind that we are sticking to uh, the schedule of the college timetable. So up to 11:20 there shouldn't be any lecture. uh, though if you receive some kind of links or something, just tell them that this is the lecture time or scheduled time for English lectures up to from 10:30 to 11:20, and there shouldn't be any problem at all. All right, so I believe this was you people enjoyed this kind of a session, and we will see you in the next scheduled session. I will share links in the classroom and group as well. So by that time, see you and bye.